Welcome back to Healthy Hub, the channel where we uncover the hidden warning signs your body may be sending before small symptoms turn into bigger health problems.
Have you ever woken up with a mouth so dry it felt like all the moisture disappeared overnight? Your tongue feels heavy, your lips are cracked, and no matter how much water you drink, something still feels off. Most people brush it aside. They assume it's just part of getting older, sleeping with the mouth open, or not drinking enough water before bed. But what if that dry mouth is more than just a minor annoyance? What if it's one of the earliest clues that something deeper is happening inside your body? Because in many cases, persistent dry mouth is not the real problem. It's the signal, a quiet warning sign that could be connected to medication side effects, dehydration, sleep apnea, blood sugar problems, or even an underlying health condition that has gone unnoticed for years. And the scary part is that millions of people ignore it every single day. In today's video, we're going to uncover what chronic dry mouth may really be trying to tell you, the hidden causes most people never suspect, and the warning signs you should never overlook.
And today, we're going to connect the dots. Because dry mouth is not just about discomfort. Saliva plays a critical role in protecting your health. Your body produces over a liter of saliva every day for a reason. It helps protect your teeth from decay, supports digestion, controls harmful bacteria, and keeps the tissues in your mouth healthy. When saliva production drops night after night, your body loses one of its important defense systems. Studies have shown that chronic morning dry mouth is extremely common in older adults. But here's the surprising part. In many cases, dry mouth is not the main problem itself. It's often a symptom of something else happening in the background. Think of it like a smoke alarm. The alarm itself isn't the danger. It's warning you that something else needs attention. One of the most common causes is medication. Hundreds of prescription and over-the-counter medications can reduce saliva production. Blood pressure medications, allergy pills, sleep aids, antidepressants, pain relievers, and bladder medications are just a few examples. And when several of these medications are taken together, the drying effect can become much stronger. Many people never realize the connection because the dryness develops slowly over time. They simply assume it's a normal part of aging. But sometimes, even adjusting when medications are taken can make a noticeable difference. Another major cause is nighttime mouth breathing, often linked to obstructive sleep apnea. When breathing repeatedly becomes blocked during sleep, the body compensates by breathing through the mouth. Over the course of an entire night, that airflow can dry the mouth severely. And in many cases, people don't even realize it's happening. They simply wake up exhausted, thirsty, and with a mouth that feels painfully dry. The important thing to understand is that untreated sleep apnea is not just about snoring or poor sleep. Research has linked it to higher risks of high blood pressure, heart rhythm problems, stroke, and other cardiovascular complications. Which means dry mouth may sometimes be the first visible clue of a much larger issue. That's why persistent dry mouth should never be ignored, especially if it happens regularly. If this sounds familiar, it may be worth paying closer attention to frequent thirst during the night, snoring or gasping during sleep, cracked lips or sore throat in the morning, increased cavities or gum problems, difficulty swallowing dry foods, persistent bad breath, fatigue even after a full night's sleep. These symptoms may seem unrelated at first, but together they can reveal an important pattern. The good news is that identifying the cause early can often lead to simple and effective solutions. Sometimes it's medication-related, sometimes it's dehydration, sometimes it's breathing problems during sleep, and occasionally it may point toward underlying conditions that deserve medical attention. Your body has subtle ways of asking for help long before serious problems appear. Dry mouth may be one of those signals. Sleep apnea doesn't just affect sleep. In many cases, dry mouth is only the first visible clue. If you constantly wake up with a dry mouth, it's worth asking yourself a few important questions. Do you snore loudly? Has anyone ever told you that your breathing sounds strange while you sleep? Do you wake up feeling exhausted even after a full night in bed? Do you struggle with morning headaches or feel unusually sleepy during the afternoon? When these symptoms appear alongside chronic dry mouth, they may point toward an underlying sleep-breathing problem that deserves attention. And the good news is that modern sleep testing has become much easier than most people realize. Many sleep studies can now be done at home using small wearable devices instead of overnight clinic visits. Now, let's talk about another major hidden cause of dry mouth: blood sugar problems. Millions of people are currently living with elevated blood sugar levels without knowing it yet. In many cases, the body starts sending warning signs long before a diagnosis is ever made.
Dry mouth is one of those signs. Here's why it happens. When blood sugar remains too high for long periods, the kidneys work harder to remove the excess glucose from the body. To do that, the body pulls more fluid into the urine, which can gradually lead to dehydration. And one of the first places that dehydration often shows up is in saliva production. Many people experience persistent dry mouth for months or even years before discovering they have type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. Your mouth may be trying to tell you something long before blood tests finally confirm it. Pay close attention if dry mouth happens together with frequent urination, especially at night, constant fatigue, slow-healing cuts or bruises, increased thirst, blurry vision that comes and goes, unexpected weight changes. These symptoms should never be ignored.
Sometimes people assume they are simply getting older, when in reality, the body is struggling with blood sugar regulation in the background. Another important cause is chronic dehydration itself. And this surprises many people because they believe they're drinking enough water. But as the body ages, hydration works differently. The brain becomes less sensitive to thirst signals over time. That means the body can already be mildly dehydrated before you even feel thirsty. At the same time, aging kidneys become less efficient at holding on to water, and certain medications can increase fluid loss even more. So even people who think they are staying hydrated may still be operating at a low-grade fluid deficit day after day. And again, one of the first noticeable signs can be dry mouth during the night or early morning. The important thing is not to ignore the pattern. Dry mouth may seem small on the surface, but sometimes it's connected to sleep issues, medication side effects, dehydration, or blood sugar problems that deserve real attention. Your body often whispers before it screams. As we get older, dehydration becomes much easier to miss. The problem is that the body's thirst signals become weaker with age. That means many older adults can be mildly dehydrated for long periods without even realizing it. At the same time, the kidneys become less efficient at conserving water, and certain medications can increase fluid loss even more. The result is a quiet cycle of dehydration that often shows up first as persistent dry mouth, especially during the night and early morning. And here's the important part. Waiting until you feel thirsty is no longer a reliable strategy. Instead, hydration needs to become intentional. Drinking water consistently throughout the day is often far more effective than trying to catch up once dehydration has already started. Keeping water nearby, setting reminders, and building hydration into your daily routine can make a significant difference over time.
Another overlooked cause of chronic dry mouth is an autoimmune condition called Sjogrens syndrome. This condition causes the immune system to mistakenly attack the glands responsible for producing saliva and tears. As a result, the body gradually loses its ability to keep the mouth and eyes properly lubricated. People with this condition often experience persistent dry mouth, dry, irritated, or gritty eyes, fatigue that feels overwhelming, joint pain or stiffness, difficulty swallowing dry foods.
What makes this condition especially important is that many people go years without a diagnosis because the symptoms are often dismissed as normal aging. Dry mouth gets ignored. Dry eyes get blamed on screens or weather. Fatigue gets brushed aside as getting older. But when these symptoms appear together consistently, they deserve attention.
The encouraging news is that identifying the cause of dry mouth can often lead to meaningful improvement. Sometimes the solution involves reviewing medications. Sometimes it's improving hydration habits. Sometimes it's treating sleep apnea or blood sugar problems. And sometimes it's recognizing an underlying autoimmune condition that has gone unnoticed for years. There are also simple ways to reduce discomfort while investigating the root cause. Products made for dry mouth, especially alcohol-free rinses or xylitol-based oral moisturizers, may help keep the mouth more comfortable overnight, while also helping protect the teeth from excess bacteria. And one important reminder, mouthwashes containing alcohol can often make dryness worse, not better. Most importantly, pay attention to combinations of symptoms. If dry mouth appears alongside trouble swallowing, mouth pain, white patches inside the mouth, unexplained weight loss, severe fatigue, or ongoing sleep problems, it's worth seeking medical evaluation sooner rather than later. Because dry mouth may seem small on the surface, but sometimes it's one of the earliest signs that the body is asking for help. Common does not always mean harmless, and listening early can make a much bigger difference than most people realize.